Hi, my name is Alex Carlucci with Gus & Show Associates. I want to talk to you about FHA manual underwriting guidelines. So, FHA says if you get a refer eligible on the automated underwriting system, not the approve eligible we all hope to get. If you get refer eligible, you are eligible for a manual underwrite. If you get refer with caution, then you can't do anything. But if you get refer eligible, that means that you're still eligible for manual underwrite. But what an underwriter needs to do on a manual underwrite is look at that credit report. No lates in the last 12 months, and no more than 2 times 60, no more than 2 lates on an installment loan or a mortgage, and nothing worse than a 1 times 90 on a credit card in the last 24 months. So clean 12, and only 2 installment lates or 2 mortgage payments lates, or 1 of each, or any combination. So 2 installment loans in the last 24, or 1 times 90 in the last 24. So remember, the first 12 months has to be clean, and then the second 24 months can't be too bad. And this includes collections and charge-offs. So if you have a charge-off that hit a year and a half ago, that is like multiple lates. A charge-off means that you just haven't paid anything at all. So you probably got like a 5 times 150 if you have a charge-off. So that the collection section has to be looked at too when it comes to analyzing this data. So if an underwriter can determine that you passed that test, then now you're eligible for the manual underwrite. And now you have to pass a couple more tests, depending on your debt to income ratio, depending on how much money you have in your bank, depending on what you're currently paying in rent. All sorts of factors come into the play here. So let me go over this the best I can. So there's 3 tiers: 31 over 43, 37 over 47, and 40 over 50. Those are debt to income ratios, front end, back end. So the front end's your mortgage payment divided by your gross income, and the back end's your mortgage payment plus your debts divided by your gross income. So if you stay under 31 over 43 and you have no lates in the last 12 and nothing worse than 2 times an installment loan in the last 24, and you're staying under 3143, really they just want to see you have a mortgage payment in the bank after you close. So after the closing costs are paid, after the down payment's made, you still have money left over. That's all they're really looking for on a 31 to 43 or less. You go to 37 over 47, now you have to have one of these 4 compensating factors. And the compensating factor list is pretty tight, it's pretty small, but I'm going to give you 4 of the top ones. I'll give you a 5th one too. So the first one that I go for is usually the easiest one to get is the 3 months mortgage payments in the bank after you close. So if you got 3 months in the bank after you close, you have one of the 5 compensating factors that I usually use. So if you have one, that allows you to go to 37 over 47. So if you're 31 over 43, you just need 1 month mortgage payment. If you go to 32 over 44, then you go into the one, you need 1 compensating factor. So if you got 3 months mortgage payments, you pass that test. If you don't have 3 mortgage payments, we can do another analysis. We can look at your current rent. If you show you pay rent on time the last 12 months, and your rent payment's $1,500, and your new mortgage payment's $1,520, you're within 5% of your rent. That's a compensating factor. You pass the test. So you got one of the compensating factors. If you don't have that, or the 3 months mortgage payments, they'll go on to another compensating factor. Let's say you've been receiving overtime for 1 year. If you're receiving overtime income for 1 year, we're not using that as qualifying income. We're not using it at all. Let's throw it out the window. But in the manual underwrite world, that's a compensating factor. You have additional income that we're not using. So therefore, that's a compensating factor. You pass the test. 4th compensating factor is residual income test. That's a complicated formula where it takes into consideration your bills, the taxes you pay, your gas in your car, all sorts of other compensating factors. If you pass that residual income test, then that's another compensating factor. That one requires an underwriter to really analyze it, and everything needs to be final. They don't really do a residual income test until the very, very end. They'll do preliminary ones along the way through, but the final's not until everything's in. So that's like a last-second Hail Mary compensating factor. And one more compensating factor that I use a lot is if you get like a disability income and you're guaranteed money for the rest of your life, or a Social Security check, you're retired. It's guaranteed by the government. That's a compensating factor. There's no hiccups in your job unless the government goes under, and then everything goes under anyway. So it doesn't matter at that point. But as you get government paychecks from the government, like a Social Security or disability, not that you work for the government, but if you get these guaranteed salaries, that's a compensating factor. So if you want to go to 40, now if you want to go to 40 over 50 DTI, you have to have 2 of those compensating factors. So you have to pass the no lates in the last 12 and then you got to pass 2 compensating factor tests. Those are the rules. You stay under 40 on the front end, under 50 on the back end. I can get you a house, manual underwrite, FHA. I specialize in these. Please give me a call, 630-915-7550. Thank you very much. Please.